This night's carnage has culminated in a horrifying crescendo of destruction. The number of enemy tanks that we had to face throughout the night was truly impressive. The Soviets really threw everything they had at this point in the lines to force a breakthrough. Our men were exhausted, their minds numb from the constant fighting. The ferocity of the Soviet attacks and our dwindling supplies of anti-tank shells made them worried and fearful. How much more would they have to endure? How many more men would have to be lost before the Soviets finally relented? The Soviets, however, desperate to break through to the river, launched another powerful tank charge against the hill. The Soviet T-34 is a powerful tank and well armored, but that armor couldn't stand up to the hail of anti-tank shells that started to rain down on them from the hill. Not only was their armored attack repelled, it was outright destroyed. Only 2 of their T-34s managed to retreat after suffering multiple hits. Who knows in what state they are now, and if they will ever be able to fight again. Every one of our men who witnessed this awesome display of destruction cheered for our gunners. On another part of the battlefield, the situation was far less cheerful. The 9th Company had managed to break into the enemy's rear and occupy the village of Samudi. They were now under very determined enemy attack. The 1st Company was rushed in to reinforce them, but they were too late. The 9th Company was destroyed as a fighting force. Only a few men survived the slaughter. But the Soviet force had been hurt. They have suffered horrendous losses. We realized that they were at a breaking point when our counterattack in the south managed to break through the enemy line, completely shattering the will of the defenders, forcing them to flee. With their tanks either destroyed or disabled, they were unable to hold the line against our determined attack that was supported by Sturmgeschütz assault guns. Was this it? Was this finally the opportunity to shatter the enemy force and to break into their rear lines to defeat them in detail? Or would they be able to regroup and hit us while we were out of position, moving around their flanks? Hello there, and welcome to a new episode of the amazing Far Escape campaign in Graviteam Tactics Mius-Front. This awesome campaign has been quite eventful so far, but most of the fighting actually happened on the hill and to the south of it, in basically this area. But now that we have achieved a very important breakthrough here, we might be in a position to push out towards the east to hopefully capture these 2 very important victory points before the campaign ends. We will now advance to turn 7 of 10. So let's actually go ahead and do just that. Okay. Look at that. That changed the dynamic quite considerably. So of course some ammunition is being distributed among my units, some units are being repaired, others are digging in. But this is interesting. So it looks to me like 2 of the enemy units that were defeated in this area have actually reformed. I did not expect that to happen. Oh, 3. This here too. This tank unit. They basically reformed behind enemy lines. Okay. This might actually put a little dent in my plans. Yeah. However, fortunately for us, we achieved a complete encirclement of these 2 units here in the north. That's really, really awesome. Of course, the enemy will try to relieve them, so we will have to keep that in mind. This unit here is encircled as well. And I know for a fact that these 2 tank units, while, well, they are still tank units, however, their strength is extremely low. And I know for a fact, due to the front line in the south moving like this, I know for a fact that there isn't anything here. I can just move through and position myself for a push towards the farmstead Shilovsky here. Let's take a quick read here. The historical situation at this point in time. The 41st Motorized Infantry Regiment, reinforced by an anti-aircraft platoon, joining its forces with units of the Motorized Infantry Division Das Reich on the right flank, moves further east. On the left flank, only outposts should be left. 3rd Battalion of the Motorized Infantry Regiment Deutschland continues to operate jointly with a motorcycle battalion. Okay. I think we will be able to push further east in this turn already. If we have a quick look at the primary objectives, we can see that we still do not control enough of the key points. Yeah, because the enemy recaptured this one down here. Ha, okay, that's bad. I need this one back. And I need one of these large ones. Definitely. Because as of right now, I would be losing this campaign. And we can't have that. Good. I have to think a bit about how I want to use my forces, where I need to replenish units that have been hurt quite a lot by the recent fighting, and where I can bring in units that are still kind of fresh. I think these companies of the SS battalion, they are still really fresh, so I will be definitely using them to push east. Okay, give me a few minutes. Alright, I have given plenty of orders, mostly centered around moving troops as far east as they will be able to go on the sidelines here. But also I will try to make sure that these isolated enemy units, like for example this one, are encircled and attacked. Same here in the north. Here the 7th Company will attack this little force here, while the 9th Company of the SS is kind of a blocking detachment. They will try to move further northeast though. That will be their thing. Actually, I should maybe try to move something else into this area behind them. Let's see. Maybe I can move the commander up to that position. There are few units that can reach so far and that don't have a move order yet. The 1st Company actually might be suited for that, so let's order them to go here. There we go. So, I'm planning an attack up here. I'm also planning an attack down here. Here in the center at Samudi, the situation is still critical, because the 9th Company has been mauled in the previous battle. They only have 25 men left. Very, very depleted company. Basically gone. They are basically gone at this point. The commander is dead and gone. The forward observer is still there, and 20 soldiers in 4 squads of infantry, with 3 of them having 2 men or 1 man, and 1 having 8 men, so basically worthless as a combat unit. I will disband this company, however, I'm hesitating to do so now. If I disband them now, this area might fall back into the hands of the enemy if I can't move troops forward fast enough. So if my troops are not moving fast enough, it would fall back into enemy hands. And this late in the campaign, I can't allow myself to lose this key point again. So these guys will just have to, well, not stay here. I'll try to move them back and to exchange them with this unit. But if it doesn't work, then they will still be here and will maybe be attacked. But we'll see about that. I hope that with their help I can hold on to this victory point while I capture this one down here. So, with all the orders given, let's actually go ahead and hit next turn and see what the enemy does. See what happens. A lot is happening. Okay. Okay. This is not as I would love to have it, really. There are at least 2 completely fresh, so far unknown enemy units. I have my 2nd Company here, which is also still fresh, so that's a good counterpoint to this unit here and might be able to push down south. There's another enemy unit up here that is also still unknown, but I don't think that this one will be involved in the battle. It's completely grayed out. I don't think this one will be able to participate, but I will still have to watch my back just in case. Maybe they are entering from the map edge, not quite sure. We'll see about that. This unit here, this is pretty depleted. And I have managed to move the anti-tank guns further forward. So I will have 6 anti-tank guns that I will hopefully be able to position here on the hillside, so that they can fire at anything that moves down here. There might be another enemy tank unit here. Definitely. The 9th company here of the SS, they have armored cars, so that's a good thing. 2 armored cars in fact. They can help to cut down the enemies up here that will try to flee east. Yeah, they are staging a breakout attempt. They are basically trying to move east back to friendly lines. While at the same time probably the units from down here will try to attack towards them. So that's the setup for the first battle of this turn. If we look down here, what will happen here? So the enemy will apparently, they managed to regain some ground and to reconnect with this unit that was encircled by moving a unit into this here. That's why I didn't disband the 9th company, but the unit that was supposed to move into the farmstead partition hasn't made it in time. So the enemy managed to move into the area instead, and they will try to counterattack down here, which will fail. Definitely. I'm not even sure that this attack will go through, because some of the enemy units that would be participating in that will be involved in the battle up here. So not quite sure how that will work out for them. I'm happy to see that a lot of my units managed to push east. And we are basically positioned down here to start attacks against this key point. There are still quite a lot of new enemy units though. So this campaign is still far from being a pushover. We still have very tough fights ahead of us. My hope for this fight right now is, well, it is 4 o'clock in the morning. Maybe by the end of this turn, maybe if we have a second battle, we will already see sunrise. That would be lovely. To fight in the light again. We had quite a lot of fighting in the darkness, and I prefer the sunrise atmosphere to that. So, let's go to the battlefield and see what we can achieve here. Mars, the god of war, has cast the dice, and they are once again not necessarily in my favor. I'll show you what I mean. For now, this here, this is the Soul Dome, the hill with the oil rigs on top. I have positioned my 5 cm anti-tank guns, the 3 guns that I have. I positioned them on this ridgeline so that they can shoot at anything that is moving down there. And I suspect there will be quite a lot of enemy movement. My 3.7 cm anti-tank guns have been positioned down here, where they are much closer to the enemy, which hopefully should offer them a higher chance of penetrating enemy armor if enemy armor is present. And I have a suspicion that yes, we will see enemy armor. I think that one of the fresh units that are on the battlefield might actually be an armored unit. Why do I think that? Because their attack vector is, how should I say it, it's quite a long one. It's a deep attack, and that is something that's usually done by units that are mechanized or armored. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe it's just a mechanized enemy unit, but maybe we will be seeing tanks, and if we are really unlucky, quite a lot of tanks. More tanks than my anti-tank guns can handle. I hope it doesn't come to that. But that's problem number 1. So we see that the enemy has planned an attack that is going from the direction of Pavlovchev here over towards Mishurin up here. At the same time, the enemies that are encircled up here will try to break out towards the village of Romanov. We also know that we have one more completely fresh enemy unit over here in the village of Masurin. Those are the big problems that we are facing. And I haven't been able to get my men into really good positions to stop the enemy's maneuvers here. I would have loved to occupy the village of Romanov. Unfortunately, I would have had to deploy my men absolutely on the edge of the enemy's deployment zone. And I don't want to repeat our experience from the past battles, where my men got rushed by enemy units in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the battle. So I had to move them a little bit further back. Everywhere basically. Also here on this side, I was able to deploy these guys near these houses. I would have loved to deploy them in these woods, but once again I would have been too close, so I didn't do that. Yeah, same with Repin here. I would have loved to occupy Repin, but I wasn't able to do it because I would have been just on the absolute edge of the enemy's deployment zone. Wait, what's that? Boxes that... Oh ho ho, look at this, do you see it? Foxholes. So we might have... I'm not sure if these foxholes were present earlier. If not, then this position is occupied by the enemies. That's a very real possibility here. I will of course try to capture Repin. Actually, the units on this side, I have set them up in a way that after 5 minutes, these guys will start to move into these woods to occupy them, so that we can start to shoot at any enemies that might be moving out here in the open. At the 7-minute mark, these units here, these men here, they will start to move in towards Repin and capture that. That's the plan. The homestead will just be left alone for now. I have my anti-tank guns close. If enemies should occupy this position, I think my guns should be able to put some high explosive shells into the houses and trees to discourage them from doing so. Over on this side of the battlefield, the SS unit, they were pretty much caught out in the open. I was not able to deploy them basically anywhere that would offer them some kind of cover. Even this little... what is this? This little farmstead here was out of reach. So I had to deploy them in the open. As I said, I couldn't deploy them in the village of Romanov. That's why I deployed them right next to it. They, thankfully, were at least able to dig foxholes, so they are dug in. That will help. And they're positioned here on the edge of the village, where if the enemy should occupy the houses, they will be able to snipe at those houses. So that should, I hope that will work out quite well actually. I just hope that these guys don't get completely rolled over by enemies arriving from that direction over there, trying to get into the village. But we'll see about that. The SS units has 2 armored recon cars, these 8-wheelers here. These vehicles are quite nice, however they only have a 2 cm autocannon and a machine gun, and their armor is paper thin. That's why I'm getting these vehicles out of here. They are ordered to immediately leave these positions and to drive back up this road and to basically hide behind this hill. You can see that the roadway, that is the fortified road here that leads towards Virvi. I absolutely butchered that name. That road is elevated and they will be able to stay on the reverse side of this little elevation, where I will use them to harass the enemies that should be out here in the open and that should be trying to get across the open here. So I'll basically use this to keep these armored vehicles as safe as they can be in this situation, while still being somehow useful. But if the enemy has tanks, it will be very dicey. The recon infantry that is attached to these vehicles will move back here towards, oh, I'm gonna butcher that name, Zakolyuzhny, I think, where they will just make sure that no enemies are moving into that area. With all of that said, I think we'll just start the battle. It is 4 o'clock in the morning, so it will still be dark, but maybe as the battle drags on, we might see the sky getting brighter. Maybe even sunrise? Not sure. It could actually be possible that we'll see the sunrise. So let's just start this and see what happens. I've deliberately, by the way, left these guys off of hold fire. If enemies are nearby, I want them to react immediately to those. I hear engines, but those are the engines from my trucks, I believe. Yes. So that's fine. You might ask yourself, by the way, why is this episode delayed? And why hasn't there been a Silent Hunter episode? Well, the reason is, if you remember the previous video that I released, I talked a little bit about having problems with my water cooler on my CPU. And I thought I'd fixed those problems. I didn't. A few days ago, the CPU temperature spiked. It was impossible to keep the PC turned on for longer than 3 or 4 minutes, even at idle. So basically, while doing nothing, the temperature spiked to 100 degrees. So absolutely unable to play or to record anything. I assume that something in the tubes or in the radiator, there was a blockage and the water was unable to circulate. Basically, my CPU water cooler was broken and I had to get a new one, which I did. But of course, ordering that thing, installing it, that took a few days. But now, listen to this. Do you hear it? Let me pause this. Do you hear this? You ask yourself, what? Exactly. Nothing. There's nothing. On my old cooler, the fans were spinning quite fast, and so they were quite audible, I think. Now this new cooler is bigger, better, and it keeps the PC really cool. The CPU. Okay, we have something happening here. Sounds like we have artillery hitting this place. Yes, unfortunately there's artillery hitting this place. And we have enemy contact in some capacity. Let me have a quick look. What do we see? There's an enemy truck moving. My men are ordered to hold fire. I'm gonna keep it that way. One truck is... it's not worth me opening up. But that artillery strike is extremely annoying. Did I lose men? I don't think so, not yet. My armored cars, they are booking it. They turned their lights on for that. They're just getting out of the area. This is nice. This is quite nice. Oops, didn't want to do that. Driving through the darkness. Nice. Okay. I should concentrate. I'm sure that pretty soon we will have enemy contacts. Retreat! Oh, God damn it. Why? Who is retreating? Wait a moment. You're retreating to over there. Oh, that's rich. Who is retreating? Is it the truck drivers? I don't care about those. No, it's not the truck drivers. You guys are suppressed. Who is retreating? Firing suppressed. Retreat. It's just a few truck drivers that are trying to get out of here. And we do have enemies in front of our position, so that fresh enemy unit is actually making a move. That's the artillery attack, the why that was called in. It's a attack to soften up this position. But the enemy didn't account for what is about to happen to them. Everybody, you are free to open up. Oh yes, you are. And we are gonna watch as these guys get absolutely mown down. Suddenly everyone is firing. Some enemies are shooting back, but they are not gonna have a good time. They are not advancing to that farm. Yeah, I have a few machine guns in position. They are gonna take care of this. Oh, absolutely they are. Any other contacts on the battlefield? So far, that's a no. Key point captured. Repin has been captured by the enemy. You are making a... shit. Go back there. I set a delay for the movement of this unit, but apparently the delay didn't catch. They all seem to be moving. Are you moving? No, you are not moving right now. Okay. The armored cars have arrived behind this hillside, so that's good. That's where I want them. We still have artillery raining down on this back line. And it looks like the enemy is using incendiary ammunition. Still no visible enemies anywhere else. It's surprising. The enemies out here, they are getting suppressed. They are out in the open, where they're having a really bad time. And the tracer rounds have actually started a few fires. And those fires will help to illuminate the enemies that are nearby. Yes, this game does work like that. It's incredible. Keep shooting. You're doing well. You're doing very well. Okay, we have contact at Romanov. Contact at Repin. Contact over here. Contact everywhere. My machine guns are opening up. Here everybody is ordered to open fire immediately, so that's really gonna hurt them quite fast and, well, quite soon. I do want to actually bring one of these infantry squads over to the armored cars so that they can help them spot enemies. Yeah, that's a good idea. Guys, move over here, okay? And over here, everybody should now be ordered to open up. Give him hell. Good. We'll get rid of those enemies in a hurry. Yeah, definitely enemies at Repin, just as we expected. We have enemy movement at the homestead. Not sure what's coming there, but we'll deal with it. Quite a lot of enemies at Repin, actually. I have called in flares into this area. Pre-planned. So they should start to arrive very soon. We'll illuminate this whole area. There they are. Yeah, those are my flares. So we're getting some nice illumination out here. We have enemies moving onto the hill, which I do not appreciate actually. I don't want to open up with my 5cm guns, but these enemies, they're in the flank of the lower battery. I have 2 machine gun units here. They are ordered to open up. Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? Enemies just moving through the area, hightailing it. So far I have not seen enemy armor, which really is a blessing. I have seen some enemy trucks, but that's fine. That's fine. I need to plan my next mortar strike. I want mortars to rain down on Repin. Actually do it like so. Give me high explosive, give me 5 per gun. Just hit them. And afterwards I'll find a new target. Enemies at the Romanov. No serious concentration of enemies at the Romanov so far. Okay, down here I need to tell the machine guns that I have down here to open up. these two. Start shooting. Kill these few enemies that are moving here. Ah, they are shooting at those guys at the homestead that I didn't want. Shoot these guys over here. Now those guys have gone to ground. Damn it. But yeah, this whole enemy thing is so close to these guns, just I'll let them fire. The 3.7 centimeter guns are no real danger to tanks anyway, so might as well use them against infantry. I'm keeping the 5 centimeter guns in reserve though. Just for now. Okay, the flares are still shooting. I do have this strike landing on their pin. Look at that, we have more enemies moving over there in the distance. That's fine. The anti-tank guns are allowed to shoot at infantry, which they will surely do soon. I should now, that the situation here on the right isn't catastrophic, I should start to make use of the armored cars by moving them towards this position here. Attack and attack. Move towards that position. Both of you are free to open up. The infantry has arrived. The infantry will move alongside you. And once they have reached that position, they're free to open up as well. I just gave the order by holding shift. I want those armored cars to help clean up this enemy pocket here. Okay. The guns are shooting. Keep hammering them. Over there, yes. Get him. Yeah, of course. Once I zoom in, the guys stop shooting. It's always the same. It's always the same. Ah, there we go. One of the guns is shooting. Let's see if this one picks up on the enemy and starts shooting as well. Yeah, they have seen something. They are turning the weapon. Infantry? Wait, where are you turning the gun? Ah, looks like enemies on the hillside, I guess. Yeah. Enemies on the hillside. Or coming down the hillside. These guys should be suppressed very soon. They won't really have a chance. Not when the guns are shooting them as they are coming down the hillside. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of enemies. Okay, mortar strike. Let's get the next one ready. The next one is gonna land in this area here. High explosive. Yes, yes, yes. Call it. Good. Am I free to start a move towards the village of Romanov? Try to get some men into that village. It is occupied by the enemies, so maybe I should hold off on that until I can get my armored cars back here and use them to provide covering fire as my infantry pushes in. Once you go into urban combat with the Soviets, things get very ugly very fast. Ah, look at that. The armored cars are starting to engage. Watch them stop engaging now that I've zoomed in. Oh, damn it, I was right. Ah, there they go. These things really are quite nice against infantry. As long as that infantry isn't carrying any anti-tank rifles, that is. Wait, what's that sound? Artillery landing here. Guys, keep your heads down. Enemy is raining down artillery on this position. That can only mean one thing. They will try to push towards it. That's quite... that could get ugly. Okay, I have to get my men here into a good position to actually support this fight. So get in there, you just get in there, and you are already in a good position. Your mortar, he can move up, and your leader, he can go there. Not executed, I need more command points. Okay, let's wait a moment. There we go. Okay, let's start moving the armored cars a bit closer. That should make them more accurate. My mortars are landing in this area, over here. That's gonna hurt the enemy. My men are trying to push towards Repin, but I have a feeling that that's not gonna work. So maybe I should stop that attempt. And just tell everyone, yeah, we are actually losing a lot of men. Cancel your orders. Hold. You are not pushing into Repin as long as the enemy is present in such a strength. Still no enemy tanks sighted, so I might actually order my 5cm guns to join in on the fun. Yeah, join in. Shoot away. Look at that, how many enemies are there at Repin? Okay, we have another strike preparing to drop here. Should already give new orders. Maybe over here. Keep shooting. The enemy is offering a ceasefire. Okay. These guys follow in the steps of the armored cars. The enemy that was here in this area is definitely trying to break out. They are moving south. And we have quite a lot of enemy contacts at the Romanov now. This guy here is running away, but he's running away in a very bad direction. You get your ass over there. So with the pressure at the homestead on my left flank gone for now, I might do what? I might start to push south, try to get into Masurin, flank the village of Romanov. Not really a good idea. Not across this open ground with enemies possibly somewhere in front of us. Let's not do that. Not now. Not saying I won't be doing it a little bit later. Are the 5cm guns joining the fight? Yes, they are. They are absolutely shooting at the enemies down there. Oh, look at this atmosphere. Look at this. You know, night battles in this game, sure, they are dark. But they are so awesome looking with the tracers flying through the air and muzzle flashes being visible from far away, especially once guns start shooting. I think they might have seen somebody. They're training the gun left and right. Well, some of the guns are starting to shoot at somebody, and I see the impacts over there in the distance. They're targeting the enemy infantry that is in the open. Nice. Let's actually take a look at you.
Infantry!
And of course, it has been true for every single time I zoomed in this battle. Once I focus on a unit, it just stops shooting. Oh, that's funny. There we go. Give him hell. That flare, by the way, was a signal flare to signal the direction that the enemy is in. You have to remember that this was an era when radios were not commonplace on battlefields. So if you wanted to communicate, you had to do it via other means. Telephone cables, if they were present, were a great way to do it. But otherwise, you had to use visual methods. Flares, either at night, these illumination flares, or smoke flares during the day. Flags, signal flags, semaphores, things like that. Or just good old-fashioned runners. It's so nice, isn't it? Such a nice atmosphere. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. We have a lot of enemies in the area. They are scattered throughout it. They are not having a good time. The enemy contact down here, they have tried to advance towards the hill, but they are being beaten back by the machine guns. Which is precisely what they are there for, so great job. I will have another mortar strike landing in this area, which is great. That's just what I need. Just keep hitting the enemies, keep hitting them over and over and over. Okay, the armored cars. I think we might have pretty much cleared up the area on the north side of this highway. So I should try to get this infantry out of these woods, have them go like this in an arc and start pressuring the enemy from essentially their rear. So let's do that, let's give those orders. You guys, I want you to move here. And then I will want you to set up here. These guys are going to do the very same thing. They're gonna move here. And then they are gonna set up here. And for those of you who maybe haven't watched the previous video where I explained this, I get this question a lot. How do I give orders in such a way that I can define the direction? Well, that's pretty simple. You can give orders, of course, by right-clicking, and then the unit goes there. I'm now holding Shift, by the way. And I'm now pressing the spacebar. The spacebar also opens up the command wheel, and I can select an order, for example, defense. But now, I haven't given that order yet. Now I can right-click, drag out, and do this. That happens if you press space. Spacebar is your friend. In these circumstances, you guys, I want you to move here, and then you are doing that. Put pressure on the enemies from their rear. Your mortar crew, they can start to move closer, and your leader can start to move closer as well. There we go. Just start putting pressure on the enemies. Great. And the armored cars, so there hasn't been anything so far that could threaten my armored cars. I haven't seen any enemy guns, I haven't seen any enemy tanks, so I think it's safe for me to bring them onto this ridgeline, from where they have great views at the enemies that are trying to get away. So let's do that. Let's bring that vehicle here, and this vehicle... Now come on. This vehicle we are bringing here. these guys, they are gonna be close protection. I've taken captives. Oh, that's good. They're starting to surrender. Their morale is shattered. And do not forget that one of the enemy units that was encircled here in this little pocket was the command of one of the enemy's regiments, I think. So by taking that out, we will deal a huge blow to the enemy's morale. Yeah, red flares are being shot into the sky, so sign for retreat. My mortar rounds are landing in this area, so hooray. The enemy is feeling that. Let's call in another strike over there. And then we are going to follow that up with flares. Flares into this area. I have 30 flares left. Might as well use them while we still have darkness. Okay, nothing is happening on my left flank at the homestead. We had that one enemy attack that was beaten back and then quiet. And these units, they're just sitting here for now. Oh wait, we have some flares going up. Something is being spotted. But you know, ideally I should position them in a way that they can support an attack towards the village. At least the machine guns. The machine gun platoon should be positioned so that they can engage the houses if necessary. So let's do that really quick. I want to bring the machine guns from the left side. I want to bring them over to the right side here. So they are gonna go back into the village. And then they are gonna move to here. Same thing for the other gun. Go there. And then move here. So they're still quite close to their parent unit, but in a good position to support other units. These two machine guns are already on this flank, so they can stay there for now. Oh, I should be careful that we don't have any friendly fire incidents. We have some enemies up here. They're trying to fight back, but they are gonna have a really bad time here, as the armored cars are rolling up, ready to start laying into the enemies with their machine guns. They're really nice. They stopped, they are now looking for targets. And I think they have found some. Or not. Or not. Always the same. I zoom in, nobody's shooting. So now that they're on this ridgeline, is anybody trying to shoot them with something big? That's a no. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Oh, look at that, we actually have rounds from my men over there flying all the way to here. That's a situation that can be a little bit dangerous. More enemies in Romanov. I'm starting to think that the SS unit is not gonna push into the village. It's gonna be these guys. They're gonna flank it and then push in. Let's prepare that. Oh, did you hear that autocannon fire? Once again, one of these vehicles is engaging the enemies with the autocannon, now with the machine gun. Really nice. What's going on today? Every time I zoom in... Oh, somebody's shooting back. As I said, the armor on these things is not that great. Really not. Let's That's actually my man trying to shoot somebody. This vehicle could move a little bit further forward. You go there, and you set up there. Start shooting, come on. There's an enemy on your right side. Firing with a submachine gun. The other armored cars have started to engage. Okay, they are turning their turret. But ideally, you really shouldn't present your paper-thin side armor to the enemy. But yeah, this is a really bad time for the enemies. It will be interesting later, when the battle is over, to see how many bullets hit these vehicles. Okay, now you're finally positioning yourself properly. The turret, by the way, is hand-cranked, so moving quite slow. I just love that tracers in this game can start grass fires. There's an enemy. I think they got him. No, he's still moving. I think he managed to run away. Not quite sure. They'll get him though. So we do have more mortar rounds landing in this area now. No, in that area, excuse me. Mortar rounds landing in this area, that will unnerve the enemy quite a bit. And then we will have flares illuminating this area. Which is great. That's just great. But while that is busy over there, let's actually move forces on this side. So you guys, I want you... Let me have a quick look at the terrain. How can we do this? Maybe I should move my... Oh, look at that. There's something here. Maybe I should have my man clean... Yeah, there's quite a lot here. I see foxholes, trenches, etc. This area is actually still full of enemies, I assume. I should maybe send out a probe before I send in my full force. Let's do that. Let's send out a patrol to scout the area. So we will have one very brave squad. Not necessarily lucky, but brave. Who do I send? You guys. I want you to move over there and to see if we have enemies. So just move towards that area for now. If you can get over there and nothing's happening, that's a good sign that I can bring in the rest of the units behind them. And meanwhile, we continue the slaughter here. This is going well. I have infantry now pushing onto the road, onto the embankment here. Some are suppressed, some are shooting quite a bit. And the enemies are in a really bad position. I have machine guns here. Are they able to fire at the enemies? They are. More captives taken. Over there, great. Yeah, that's what I need. Let's start taking captives. Let's start to support that. Let's start rolling the armored cars forward, bit by bit. Their presence will make the enemies panic. But I can't move them in too close. Hand grenades can be enough to disable them. Good job, good job. Just keep doing that. Okay. The mortar strike is landing in this area. You can hear the impacts. And now, next up, flares. How many flares will I still have? Well, quite a few actually. I can call in another flare drop. And maybe I'll call in the second flare drop onto this area, like here for example, so that we can see the remaining enemies in the area and annihilate them. I'm wondering if I should maybe try to move into Repin now. Try to secure that little farmstead. It's a good firing position. But it's not easy because my unit that was supposed to do that has suffered casualties. A lot of casualties. Yeah, more than 50% casualties. 17 men are still combat ready, 27 are not. 27 are dead or heavily wounded. So that's not gonna happen. We are not taking Repin with those guys. But I don't really have anyone else. I will just have to wait until the my men from up here can push south. These guys here just have to hold for now. Hold the enemy back, make sure they are not trying to get into that area over there. I could try to move machine guns a bit closer. Where are the machine guns? This one is low on ammunition actually. And the other two are over there, where they are in a good position to dominate these guys, so I'll have to leave them there for now. Armored cars pushing in. I'll have them push in one by one. But the enemies are seriously suppressed right now, and the flares will now start to land. Okay, these two guys, they are gonna... So this infantry together with the armored vehicle, maybe I will have them push closer together. Let's actually do that. I will have the infantry move behind the vehicle, so the vehicle is offering them some protection. Start moving. It's time to clean out these enemies once and for all. Push over. Get into a position where you can actually bring your full firepower to bear on the enemy. Same with you guys. Flares, come on. I need those flares. I don't think it will be long before the enemy is forced to flee the battlefield. I'm inflicting serious losses on them. And they are just all completely suppressed. They can't do anything without being just utterly crushed. Here a machine gunner is very brave, doing his best, but ultimately they are being hit by everything around them. So they're really having a bad time here. Okay, the flares, they are coming. Here, the infantry with the armored car is pushing in. The armored car is opening up with the 2 cm autogun. This is awesome. That's not awesome. Could be a little bit more careful, please. I applaud your enthusiasm, but I don't need you shredding the engine of this vehicle. Then taking cover behind a vehicle, that's quite nice. But it does carry a risk that the AI might do something that's a little bit silly, like, yeah, shooting into the back of it. Okay. Considering what is happening here, I will move the vehicle forward on its own. Or I will just increase the distance between the guys while I move them. That might be a good idea. So let's do that again. Move behind the vehicles, but open up your formation a bit more. Wow, the flares are illuminating this area, but there really isn't much in it. I should drop flares here. Near that pin, just to really get the enemies out of here. Oh, actually, there is some enemy movement over there. Nothing major though. Okay, let's do it like this. Call in the flares and then we'll just mop them up in one swift move. Those flares, I think, also landed a bit further back than they were supposed to. The autocannon on these things, it's such a beast against enemy infantry groups. It's really amazing. 2 centimeter high explosive shells. They just tear through infantry. Even a close hit can be enough to destroy an enemy. So nice. Oh, and look, the sky is getting brighter, I think. Pretty soon we will have sunrise. I saw an explosion over there at the homestead. Guess my anti-tank guns are shooting at enemies over there. Yeah. That's just great. Okay, my patrol has made it, I think. They've made it into that swamp and they haven't found anybody yet. Okay, guys. You've actually occupied some enemy positions. If you can occupy these enemy positions, I will bring the remainder of the unit. So let's test that. Go there. Occupy that. Let's see if we run into enemies. They're rushing that position right now. Yeah. Awesome. I can use this little swamp to push into Masudin and to also flank Romanov. So let's do that. That's great. I could... No, that would be too risky. Try rushing units in with trucks into the village. That, I think, would be too risky. That would be tempting fate too much. So, let's do it like this. So, you guys, I want you together with you, you, and also you. You are going to move. Just move, don't move necessarily along the road. Just move in a column formation. Make it 3 lines. Just get moving, get in here. Where you will then take up defenses. Same with this whole unit. You too are going to move in here and then take up defenses, prepare for further operations. Your leader is gonna stay behind for a moment and will then follow. And since we will be conducting a flanking attack on the village, I don't have to move my machine guns too much. I will move 2 machine guns out here in the open once the units in the swamp are established, so that they can suppress the houses. And that should be enough. Oh, we lost one of the trucks. Probably hit by one of these artillery rounds and just messed up. No crew. The driver is dead. Okay, units are starting to move. This is looking great. And I'll use those units to capture Romanov. Okay, situation on this flank over here. Masurin has been taken, nothing has been present. So these guys are now gonna do the very same. Let's see. Why is that not working? 2 lines. Ah, that's why. Go and get the farmstead. And your mortar. That is going to set up here. And who's that? That's actually moving. Good. Now these guys, they are holding here for now. They are now attacking Romanov. Let's see how I want to play this. So, you are gonna assault these woods. Same with you. You are gonna go towards the first houses. You are gonna take the other side of the street. Let's get going. Mortar is gonna move in behind you. Same with your leader. Get a move on. Secure the village. That will free up more men. Are the machine guns in position? Yes. If Romanov is secure, that frees up the SS unit to go after the enemies. We can just start sweeping. These guys are almost at the farmstead. The mortar is gonna follow them. Men are entering Romanov, the outskirts. I have some in these woods. I think the village is empty. Take more captives. Mortar strike devastating the enemy over there. Where are the remaining enemies? I'm seriously confused. I would have expected the battle to end already, because there doesn't seem to be anything left. There we go. There we go. Enemy retreats. The field is ours. That's it. And we've taken another key point. Romanov, I guess. No, the farmstead. Romanov has been empty the entire time. God damn it. But okay. Couldn't have known that. 3, 2, 1. And done. So let's have a quick look at the losses. Casualties 53 on my side, 223 on the enemy's side. That's brutal. That's really brutal. There can't be much left. There really can't. Let's have a quick look. Let's see for ourselves. Regimental HQ of the 108th Cavalry Regiment. They are gone. That they managed to take some guys with them, but they are gone. The truck made it all the way to here. Okay. Why was their truck over? No, I'm not gonna ask. They are gone. No, wait! Oh, that's it! The fresh enemy unit that was here in the swamp. That was a headquarters unit. Yes, that was a headquarters unit. They had tried to attack towards the homestead and got destroyed. So there was another... We killed another regimental HQ. And of course this one. That's the one that was encircled. And they should be dead. That truck was here at Repinia. No, up here in the woods. Alright. So that's what happened there. 2 regimental headquarters destroyed. That's really gonna hurt the enemy. What else did they have? 9th Cavalry Division. Battalion commander. A battalion commander of the artillery division. Gone. Killed. Great, really great. A squadron of cavalry soldiers also wiped out. Another one wiped out. Machine guns. No, it's an anti-aircraft platoon. The platoon commander is still alive. He made it out. But his machine guns, DS-39, they are gone. That's gone. This one's gone. I don't even see their machine guns. They must have abandoned them somewhere. And that one's gone. There's one of them. Look at these things. These beasts could have really... I guess these beasts actually did hurt quite... Yeah, look at that. Killed personnel 12. They mowed down my men that were advancing from over there towards Repin. Both of these machine guns have quite a few kills. Okay. What else did the enemy have? An artillery spotter. The officer is still alive, just barely. No idea what's happened to his spotter. Maybe alive, maybe not. A squadron of infantry, scattered. Some of them are... Oh look, we had enemies at the farmstead, we just didn't get to engage them anymore because the time ran out. They retreated. But apparently the enemy did have... Oh look at that, even here at the homestead, some of them. Here quite a lot of wiped out squads and the other ones unusable. Sappers, they had sappers on the field somewhere. At least one is still alive, no idea about the others. More dead soldiers, and more machine guns. One is over here somewhere. Apparently didn't move very much. One man is still alive, the other 2 are dead. And that's it, that was the enemy force. I honestly was worried that we would be seeing armored vehicles. Fortunately, that wasn't the case, and we really managed to defeat the enemy infantry in detail. Which is absolutely awesome. A really great result for us. Really, really good result. I didn't catch that. Can't combat. One of the guns has suffered losses. The gun is damaged. Commander and loader are down. This guy alone can't operate it. Not with the other one. Okay. So yes, I did take some losses as well, but all in all this was absolutely amazing for me. Let's have a quick look at my vehicles. So this one doesn't seem to have been hit at all. Let's have a quick look here. No hits received apparently. Did kill 6 enemies though. Doesn't seem like much, but that's actually quite good. This one killed 11, but got damaged because somebody decided to unload into its back. And also some enemies have shot it into the side. One of the wheels is damaged over here. Yeah, this wheel is damaged. But that will be repaired in 2 man-hours, so basically immediately. In half an hour this thing is repaired. Good. Good. Great job. Battle 1. Let's go to the operational phase and see what this has achieved on the operational map. There we go, platoon defeated, battle group defeated, battle group routed. So a lot of enemies defeated, and we have a second battle on our hands. Oh, that's good. This one is gonna be quite interesting as well. Actually, I didn't think that it would come to this. I thought that by fighting this battle, this one down here would be cancelled out. But apparently the enemy really wants to go ahead with this attack. I mean, if they want to. If they really want to, let's oblige them. I do have, these are the anti-tank guns that were just present, so not quite sure how much ammunition they have left over. That could become an issue because the enemy does have tanks in this area. But this is something that we will take a look at next time. For now, I want to thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I deliberately didn't cut it in the middle of the battle because, come on, you deserved a long episode. And I'm really looking forward to this fight here. Until we get to this next week, I wish you a few very nice days and let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Goodbye.